Hello and welcome to another episode of TBBBAA.
That's two best brothers bitching about anime.
I'm Shade.
And I'm Conrad, and we just watched episode 25, the special OVA episode of Kill La Kill. What did you think of this episode, Shade?
I didn't think it was as good as any of the other episodes of the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's excellent because I feel the complete opposite.
Really?
I cried the whole time.
The whole time?
The whole time.
Well,
I thought it was beautiful and moving, and it changed my soul.
That's also funny because I said, I have it in my notes, the last thing I wrote was that the ending was kind of like the ending of Lord of the Rings, which makes our cousin cry.
Oh, you mean the "you bow to no man" line for the hobbits? Yeah, it is a bit like that. It's got that sort of that great epic closing resolution feel to it. I thought this was the perfect resolution to the story because, like, you know, it ends with just kind of they kill Satsuki and it leaves all kinds of open questions. What are they gonna do? What's gonna happen next? You know?
Yeah.
So this answers all that. It's like it tells us what happened to the school, what happens to each of the characters now that they're not fighting.
How did the whole school sink? Did the whole island just fall?
I'm guessing that it was the lifeblood of this, like the power circuit of the school. Like it's being held together by the giant Goku uniform.
This is just insane.
I can't believe that I never noticed at all that the school is shaped like a uniform.
Really? I've noticed that like a couple episodes in.
I never noticed that
like,
at all.
It looked kind of like the god
uniform.
robe.
Yeah. What did you not like about it? How come it's not your favorite episode?
I don't know. It felt weird.
In what way? Describe your feelings of weirdness.
Different
How?
It was weird seeing them go after the one chick that didn't really have much of a story until now.
But they gave her a story.
Yeah, it was good that they gave her a story. And how Raggio totally just freaking abducted her and gave her a new name.
I got so fucking hyped because she starts talking about her backstory and it starts playing, of course, Raggio's fucking theme, Blumenkranz. So I'm sitting there like, oh, and then she shows up and she's got short hair and is all hot wearing the fucking like combat gear, and I was like, dude, because Raggio is normally creepy, but in this flashback, she's like all cool and hip and young and hot looking, and I was like, dude, Raggio's awesome, and she like fucking cuts a bunch of dudes to pieces.
I had really loved that what the heck was the black chick's name?
Honoji 8 something.
Honoji's the name of the academy.
It's similar. I think it is Honoji though, isn't it?
No, it's like it has like an M and a W. I loved that when she showed up, it was playing Raggio's theme, but it was like a slow,
a piano version.
It was like a slow, sort of sad version of it because she was like, "Dude, you killed basically." Also my mom,
right?
And I totally saw her in a different way where she was like my everything, but she was your enemy.
Yeah, God, Raggio showing up was so fucking hype because of Blumenkranz. And then of course, don't lose your way, you know, at the end, and you know it's coming. She's falling down and the music cuts out and you're like, it's gonna play the song. I know it's coming. And then fucking Senketsu, like as a star, his like soul
just kind of pops in. He just, hey, I exist still.
He's a soul, man, out in the universe.
Space. And let me just throw these scissors, which is a safety hazard, by the way.
Well, because when you die, you become a star. You know, that's like traditional. Like, that's a traditional thing.
When I die, I do not want to become a giant flaming ball that makes a bunch of freaking elements and then blast them onto planets. I mean, it sounds kind of cool, but I'd rather be in heaven just chilling.
Chilling with a bunch of bitches.
Yep.
So Senketsu shoots down, or is it Junketsu? Is Senketsu?
It's Senketsu.
Senketsu sends down the fucking scissors, and it's all, don't lose your way.
Hold on.
The scissors got huge.
And one of them was
Where did they go at the end of the show?
Did it ever show? No, it just disappeared, I believe.
Did she just like throw it through her out into space or something? Maybe that's why. Maybe the scissors were out in space at the end of the show. Someone who remembers, let us know. Were the scissors out in space at the end of episode 25 or 24? I mean, of Kill La Kill, and is that why they came back from space?
Right. I totally got a huge Gurren Lagann with the scissors.
Oh, turning giant.
I was like, whoa, this is like when Kamina pulled out a sword and it was all a crazy perspective and didn't make any sense.
Oh, like this 9-foot fucking Sephiroth sword.
And then like it wasn't really that long. It was like
Right.
Maybe regular length.
I think the scissors were that big though. They were enormous.
They were huge, but like when they were coming out, they were like freaking tentacles going.
Right. That's what that's actually more like FLCL when like the giant hand is revealed. It kind of is revealed in a way similar to that. Or even when she's running across the hands, it's just like the scene with Haruko running in FLCL when she's got the guns and do you remember that?
Not exactly. It was a long time ago.
You need to rewatch FLCL.
Yeah, I probably do.
Here. I mean, the guy who directed Kill la Kill did a lot of the animation work on FLCL, especially episode 5 of FLCL. And he has lots of scenes like that of characters running up something. I mean, there's been more in Kill la Kill alone, but it's a very Imaishi scene to have a character run up something and attack.
I've actually compared before the tower from Kill la Kill that Satsuki usually standing on with the iron from...
Oh, yeah, it does look a bit like the iron from FLCL. That's a good point. I never would have thought. And it serves the same thematic purpose, which is to iron out all the wrinkles, all the things that make you different as a person, because that's what Medical Mechanica was trying to do. They were trying to make everyone the same. And Satsuki now, now she's trying to embrace everything that makes people different, which is like the coolest theme to me is when she talks to oh wait, I didn't look up her name.
You were on the website.
No, because her name is not on this page.
Well, as you're doing that, speaking of Satsuki, as soon as she was like tied up in the thing, and she was all depressingly like, "Oh, you might as well just kill me, or I'll kill myself to save the others." I was like, man, Satsuki's a Debbie Downer.
What a Debbie Downer. Yeah, it's Rei Hoomaru. So Hoomaru.
Yeah, it's got O-U-O-U.
Yeah.
What's
like
the point?
Ho-Oh, like the Pokemon. Hoomaru, and Maru means zero.
Yeah, it's the same
it's like
instance
Ho-Oh zero.
where it's annoying to say, and a lot of people say ho-ho, even though that is a tasty treat.
So Rei, yeah, like in the end, you know, Satsuki was like, "Oh, I'm just repentant now. I don't want to fight anymore. I have no will to live. You can just kill me if you want to." But then she realizes, "Oh shit, there's more battles to be fought. You know, I still need to fight for the people who are still held down even in this world, you know, because it used to be Ragyo held everyone down or was trying to supposedly help them to all become equal or something. And Rei was, you know, supporting her because of that. But now she's like, "Oh, this world is fucked up. Everyone is this class systems and stuff like that, you know, and I come from like this impoverished nation." And she even calls her, she basically says to Satsuki, "Check your privilege." She like actually says that, and she's like, "Check your privilege, bitch. I'm this world is fucked." And Satsuki's like, "You know what? I'm gonna create a world for people like you who make no sense, for people whose lives who are so different from everyone else that, you know, that they can't support themselves." And that's exactly what I think Trigger would be trying to do for the anime industry. You know, they're trying to create an anime industry where even people who make no sense, shows that make no sense, can still be popular. You know, they don't have to conform to what makes sense logically. They can just do whatever they want, and they're saying we're providing a place for that. And I think that's fucking beautiful and says a lot about the show and, you know, what it's all about. And having Satsuki be that was just super cool.
Well, you clearly, and I already knew this from many years of living with you, that you have a way more analytical brain than I do. I didn't think about any of that jank. I mean, I did like the part where Mako was talking to someone. I already forgot that crap, but Mako was talking to someone, and she had said something about the weird people and all that. I do recall something along those lines.
I don't know what to fucking... Oh, where she says, like, "Oh, they're just, like, you... The you inside your mind now is better than the you that they..." Like, because, all the... What Shay's trying to talk about is when all the former students, like, their vision of what the Elite Four was a bunch of assholes. And she's saying that, yeah, but we have visions of ourselves in our own minds, you know, which is cool because it also calls back to what Ryuko was like. Because remember, Mako was always saying that Ryuko like had imaginary friends in the form of Senketsu and like was always inside her own head. But she said like she loved the inside of her head, like she loved what she was in her own mind. And so she was like, oh, she was always better in her head than she was in anyone else's head, you know. And so they were like, oh shit, you know, if we unlock our potential from within our own heads, it's better than what's in theirs. Which this also goes back to the whole fucking Evangelion thing. You haven't seen it, but
No.
the last 2 episodes of Evangelion are all about how, like, there's a different version of you in every person's mind. So, like, there's the you that you think you are, and then there's the you that someone else thinks you are. But each one is a different you, and they all exist. Like, you can't invalidate someone else's vision of who you are, even though you don't agree with it. But that's basically what they're harnessing, is their version of me versus other people's version of me, and saying, well, my version of me is better because I know me better, and I know that I am actually a good guy.
I'm the best, and you're wrong about me,
Yes.
buddy. I'm not who you think I am.
There's a scene where Mako is doing her stupid puns.
Yeah.
Did you notice she says "suteki" to them, which means like perfect or amazing or like beautiful kind of thing? Like, I think it's in that speech. She says, like, basically that they are all suteki, and she turns into a steak. Because a steak is suteiki in Japanese. Suteki.
Steak.
Yes.
Yep.
So she turned into a steak.
A little bit away from analysis. I did like that because in the ending credits of the last episode, Satsuki had short hair.
Right.
And I was like,
man, so
how are they
good.
gonna tie that in?
Right, she had short hair then, and now it showed us how it happened.
Yeah.
So really, the ending credits of episode 24 are obviously after this. They must have had it planned. Right, so they must have known from episode 24 that they were going to have this be the ending, but they, just held off on making it, which I was like, why couldn't this have been with the series? It's so perfect. But at the same time, I feel even better having seen it later, especially now that I'm a bigger fan of the show than I was when I first watched it, Made me have way more feels towards it, and and she looks awesome with the short hair in that scene where she fucking cuts it off and she's just like staring into the wind, and I was like, yeah, Satsuki's hot.
Hold on, what religious thing was it when you like burn an effigy?
I'm not sure, but if you mean like her cutting her hair is like that,
Yeah,
it's very common in anime. It might even be in American shows too, but in anime generally, when you're putting a part of your life behind you, you cut off your hair. So it happens in a lot of shows, especially like traditionally it's more of like if you end a relationship, women will often go get a haircut right after they end a relationship, or or even just people in general will often change something about their life so that they feel like they're moving on to the next stage. So whenever someone cuts their hair like that, it's always symbolic of I'm leaving behind this part of me that represents what I used to be, and I'm becoming something different.
Satsuki says at the end that she will have more time to see Ryuko, and like you clearly see that she's hanging out with her in
Right,
the end
at the
of
end
the
of
last
24.
of 24. And I was like, are they in college or are they just living a regular life now? Like,
I wonder.
How do they even know?
That's the next question. Ghost Lightning, after first finishing Kill La Kill, said we need to have a K-On! Style series with the characters of Kill La Kill. And I would definitely watch it.
I was like, what are they gonna do afterwards? Do they actually know how to do real life? Is their school? They didn't learn jack.
I was just so happy to see like Ryuko and Mako and Satsuki all friendly and stuff, and like being best pals.
Or they're not all mean. And Satsuki, more people talk to Mako.
Right.
I mean, not exactly.
Yeah, everyone kind of talks to her, or they at least acknowledge her.
Throughout the whole actual show, if you notice, only really Gamagori actually interacts with Mako.
Right. Like, other people have comments about her occasionally.
Yeah, but they never usually talk directly to her. They usually say like one sentence, but it's always like an insult. Gamagori actually would like say things with her and felt things with her, and that's why he was apparently going to hand her flowers at the end of episode 24.
Right. Fuck, what does this say?
What is that?
I wrote down notes and I cannot read them. Something and hard?
It's not even English.
I know what this one, that voice is referring to when, what's her name? The girl with the pink hair is getting chased down by the evil version, and she's like, oh, that obnoxious voice, and it's her own voice, because everyone complains about her obnoxious voice, and I thought that was hilarious.
I had loved that after all 4 of them had transformed and they had their exact same transformation, or all 5 actually, counting Satsuki, they had their like super crazy transformation, and then it shows the teacher guy, what was his name?
Oh, when he just like strips all his clothes
off. He's just staring off in the distance, staring at the other guy, and then suddenly completely in his other costume. So I was like, that is the best
fantastic.
transformation there has been in the show.
The best line is when Ryuko says she's trying to put away the blade that she's been sharpening her entire life. And I was like, yeah!
That's extremely cheesy.
No, it's awesome! That's awesome cheesy. That's the best
Yeah.
kind. It means something, you know? It sounds cool, but it means something.
And then at the end, she's like, oh yeah, she put it away, man. She doesn't have the sword anymore. I was gonna...
Apparently I went through all my notes, but
Yeah.
my notes are too unreadable to say any more of what they say.
All of my notes were pretty weird. One of them was just WTF. Because something was happening, and I like questioned how they all had the nudist speech, like they all had nudist speech uniforms under their uniforms.
Why would you question something like
I
that?
was
This
like,
is kill la
that's
kill.
interesting. Did they all still felt like it was cool? They were like, yeah, nudist beach uniforms. They're gonna wear it underwear.
Well, because it's a part of it, who they are,
Yeah,
man.
man.
They have to keep that spirit alive, that rebellious nudist beach spirit.
And then all of them just kind of knew how to find the primary fiber suddenly.
Right.
That was not in the original show. Nobody really knew like where it was.
Well, they would
Now
know where
they
it
just
is on
kinda
their
pulled
own
it.
uniform.
That is true.
That's the idea, is that they were like, oh, no one knows my weakness is better than me.
And
you
then,
know?
yeah, that part.
He just presses an off switch.
He just,
on the
yeah,
guy's-
nobody knows the weakness better than me. Off switch. Like, seriously?
It's literally a computer power button. That was the best fucking thing possible.
That's how they're gonna follow up Gamagori jumping and like beating it out of the other guy with an axe. It didn't even look like he cut him. He just bluntly hit him with an axe. I had laughed like out loud, which I generally don't do when I'm watching by myself. But I laughed out loud when the dark Inamuta, just like Inamuta, jumped in like he was gonna do like a kick or something, but he was just typing all over himself and then just kind of falls.
Lots of good comedy gags and fun stuff when they all when they're moving and like the three kids are like moving away and they're like saying goodbye to the Mako's brother. Do you
Yeah.
remember that? And they're all like, they cry like a literal river.
Yes.
And he's like, make sure you all enroll in elementary schools wherever you go. And then they just pick up Mako's house and put it in the truck.
Yes.
The entire
Did you
house.
notice that in one of the trucks they had like the power the telephone lines?
Did they?
Yeah, one of them had a telephone line in his truck.
That is awesome.
And I was like, what is he gonna do with that? Is he gonna hook that up himself?
So, have you changed your mind about this episode yet?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty great. It was the themes, the parts about because the obvious themes is like the whole we're graduating from Ragyo, we're
Yeah.
moving on with our lives, and she's like, I'm gonna force you to graduate, Satsuki. I'm gonna make you move on and not try to throw yourself out with your old life. You have to become a new person and live with the rest of us. But even more than that, the stuff with Rei and the whole I'm gonna make a world for weird people like you, and of course Ryuko, who said herself, this world is perfect for people like me who don't make sense. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, this world doesn't make any sense, which is fine for me because I don't
Which-
make any sense.
By the way, earlier when I was mumbling a bunch of crap, that's actually what I was talking about.
When she because she was saying that because they said that she still had life fibers in her, and
Yeah.
that's the explanation, is that she doesn't make any sense,
Dude, when
that's
she-
why she still has life fibers.
Yeah, when she cut the school down and then the life fiber floated into her hair, I was like, what the heck?
They always floated into her hair.
No, they always floated into the back of her uniform.
Oh, that's right. They didn't they? Yeah. Well, now she collects
Now
them
she
through
collects them through her hair-
red strip
her
of
red
hair.
strip of hair
That must
thingy.
be the life fiber.
Yeah.
That's it right there. That
If-
strip of hair is made of life fiber.
So if you cut that off, she would be dead.
I guess if she is like a human she is like a human
Yeah,
uniform, isn't she?
she's a human. I think she was part life fiber.
She
or
was
something that.
like some kind of genetically modified, or was that Satsuki? Which one of them was the genetically?
It was Ryuko
cloned?
was the
Okay.
one because she.
Right, she's the little sister.
Yeah, she's the one that was because she's able to wear all the clothes,
Right.
all the clothes in the closet.
You just rewatched this show, so you remember.
No, I
this.
actually only watched half.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I owe myself a rewatch of Kill La Kill, because after watching that OVA, I was like, this is a perfect 10, like no question. And then I was like, if I watch the show right now, will it be a perfect 10? But at the same time, the show has so many just dumb battles that are just stupid. And this OVA had some of that, but it all fits in nicely. You know, at first they have the stupid Mendokte, 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 but then he's like, shut up, like pulls it out.
He's like, what? When will you shut up?
It's the resolution we deserved.
Oh yeah, when the school stood up, I was like, are they gonna pull out a bigger mech and it's gonna end up being like a mech battle? Is this gonna be an arms race with Kill la Kill?
No, it's a scissors versus arms battle.
Well, generally scissors are supposed to break to rock, but that thing cut through like a whole mountain.
That was it's fiber. I mean, yeah, it's ultimately fiber.
So it's ultimately fabric, which could be
which scissors. That's the whole
paper.
idea of the scissors, is that they cut fabric, and that's why she fights with scissors. I mean, that's the entire purpose of the scissors in the show.
Was the school made of? Well, the school was made of. Was the mountain under the school made of fibers?
I don't know. Because the whole thing fell apart at the end. Like, all of it must have been connected and made of some kind of similar material, because the entire thing capsized after the battle.
They literally said, the Mankanshoku family said, we gotta go before this place sinks. Right. I was like, is the whole island sinking?
Yes, the whole island is sinking.
What happened to, like, the plate, connecting to the ocean? To the bottom of it?
Well, anyway, with all that said, and the school sinking into the distance, let's give one last salute for the Academy. There you go. We're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it.
We're doing it. This is definitely going to be on screen, but we're also totally doing it in real life.
We're not doing it in real life.
We are. I'm doing it.
Well,
it looks like you're doing it.
I'm not exactly doing it.
It looks like you're doing it.
I'm doing something
Don't lose your